As a wheelchair user and a fitness coach, I often get asked what my best advice is when it comes to fitness as a wheelchair user. And it all boils down to what the most important thing is that you should be focusing on when it comes to your fitness routine. It's not about getting the perfect workout plan, using the latest equipment, or even finding the best trainer, which is me, of course. No, the best thing that you can do is to be consistent with your training. That's right, consistency is what will make or break your fitness journey. Our bodies are incredible at adapting, but that goes in both directions. If you consistently challenge your body, you'll grow stronger, faster, whatever your fitness goals may be and whatever your training does, meaning you'll adapt in that direction. However, it also works in reverse too. If you consistently avoid activity, you'll start to get weaker, you'll get slower, and the opposite of what you want to happen will happen. There is no point where our body stays the same. It's always adapting in one direction or another, and it depends on how hard you're working or how hard you're not working to the speed of which direction you're going in. And that's why it's important to stay consistent with our training. So we are always adapting in the right direction for where we want to get to our goals. Now, consistency is super tough, especially for us wheelchair users. We have so many more obstacles to get to our fitness routine. But it is non-negotiable when it comes to be able to hit our fitness goals. So we need to be as consistent as we can possibly be to be able to get to where we want to be. You've got to remember, this is your situation. No matter what is happening in your life, no matter your ability level or what you can or can't do, this is your situation. You need to make the most of it no matter where you are. But there is one great thing, is that the more you do be consistent, the easier it is to become consistent. And that's because your body has adapted to the stimulus you're giving to it. So therefore, the exercise, the training, getting to training, no matter what your obstacle may be, it does become easier every time you do your training. So the more consistent that you can be means it's easier to stay consistent in the long run. And it's a snowball effect which gets easier and easier every time you do your training. So I want to give you a strategy here to help you to stay consistent. And it's all about finding the root cause of why you're not doing your training on a consistent basis. And this strategy is called the 5 whys. What we do, we ask ourselves questions starting with why, and it's all about digging deeper into your consciousness and figuring out why you're not doing what you need to be able to do. And you can do this not just for fitness, but any aspect of your life. So let's start with the overall issue, which is, why am I not being consistent with my training? And when we give the answers, we need to be as honest with ourselves as possible. So your answer may be to this: well, I just don't know where to start. Which brings us on to the next why, which is, why don't you know where to start? And your answer to that may be just, well, I don't know what I'm doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, well, your next why may be, well, why haven't you looked for help? And your answer to that is, well, I just don't have the time to look. So why haven't you had the time to look? And this is where you need to be really honest with yourself. Well, I don't have time to look because I haven't made fitness a priority, which is probably an honest answer for most of you that you have to be honest with yourself about. And it's there we can find the root cause of your problem. So because you haven't made fitness a priority, you haven't done the research, so you don't know what you're doing, so you can't be consistent with your training. However, if you did make fitness a priority, so solve that root cause, then suddenly you've created time to help yourself, you know what you're doing, and therefore you can be consistent with your time. And that is how we can dig deep into the root cause of our issue. And again, please be honest with yourself when you're doing this. Don't lie to yourself. It's only you within your own mind who needs to listen to this. The more honest you can be with yourself, the better you'll do at solving your root cause and getting on with your training consistently to help yourself in the long run. And on that point, I just want to make sure that you understand that it doesn't matter if your fitness or your health isn't your top priority. We have many other things, such as our family, our friends, our work, and other things that may get in your way that you want to prioritize first. But if you want to reap the rewards of fitness, you need to be consistent on a long-term basis. You only get the benefit if you put the work in. And if you're somebody who just needs to wait for that perfect moment, if you need to, I'm just going to wait till Monday on the New Year's coming up or whatever it may be, those moments don't come around. And if you focus on that one moment, life just passes you by. You need to start doing your work as soon as possible if you want to see the results that you want to get, because that is where you're being committed in your mind to the consistency that you need for your fitness program. In fact, if you can be consistent when times are tough or when it's not perfect, you already know that you're in a situation like, do you know what, today wasn't perfect, but I still got on with it. That means when it's easy, you can get on with it. When it's hard, you can get on with it. That you can push through those tough times and be more consistent on a more consistent basis. And although I'm talking about this, I'm not perfect myself. I try to be as consistent as I possibly can, but there's a lot of times when I'm not. But I try and do my best to get into the gym, get into my training, whatever it may be that I'm focusing on, and doing it as often as I possibly can. Often I get too lost in my work, I get too lost in exploring or whatever it may be, and I don't be as consistent as I possibly should be. But I just try to be as consistent as I possibly can. I have other priorities in my life that I consider equally as important, but when I do my health and my fitness, it makes everything in my life so much better and so much easier as well. I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I can last longer in the day, I can do more activities, I can enjoy life a little bit more, just through making sure I'm consistent with my fitness training. And that is why consistency is my #1 advice when it comes to wheelchair fitness. Be consistent. It means that you'll hit your goals faster, you'll hit them more efficiently, and also it'll make everything else in your life so much easier when you have that structure and you have that fitness to back you up. But thank you very much for watching. If you did like that, hit the like button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm happy to chat about this at any length down in the comments section down below. So please reach out to me, I will help you as much as I can. And I didn't want this video to sound harsh. I don't want to be nagging you and say, hey, you should be doing this. This is to help you, and sometimes it needs to be a little bit of tough love to make sure that you get it right. And that tough love should come from within. You don't rely on other people too much, don't rely on me even. Rely on yourself to be tough on yourself and hold yourself to a higher standard so you can be frequently, consistently hitting your goals. And again, I've said it a couple of times, but be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with anybody else, in my opinion. So do treat yourself with respect, treat yourself with the honor that you deserve, tell yourself what you need to do, and reach those goals that you're looking to get. Again, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Are you ready to start your fitness journey? Then sign up now at adapttoperform.co.uk and get access to hundreds of workouts specifically for us wheelchair users.